No, I won't get the logic of disappearing people, Scott. And I hope that you
believe you're
minimizing this.
your point.
I can't believe you're minimizing people being disappeared by the government.
Go ahead.
Let's watch CNN's lefties absolutely melt down when Scott Jennings calls out their party's inauthenticity. Let's go.
On here.
What is happening?
Now, some years ago, you might remember that the folk singer on your screen, Hank Johnson, said in a congressional hearing that he was concerned that Guam was going to tip over if too many Marines got on one side of the island. So we're not dealing with like a super genius here. These Democrats are weird AF. I'm not going to say it like Gavin Newsom did. Newsom, Cuomo, this guy, why cannot they just act like normal people, making up, forced vulgarity, silly singing in your office?
Shall we
Why can't they just be
together?
normal?
I want to put Donald Trump in a clip of Donald Trump with boom,
Normal.
ding, ding, and all the ridiculous, asinine, nonsensical comments that he has made. To be
I love the boom, bing, bing, for the record.
honest, I'm not even trying to defend Democrats here. I don't really care. I'm not a Democrat here. But I think we are looking like a very unserious country on every side. And I think this is one of the reasons why people are so disconnected from the political process. I think if they think, playing a guitar in their old life, like that ain't it. I can just tell you right now. That ain't it.
Agreed.
But I also think Gavin Newsom dropping the F-bombs, that ain't it. People who are suffering right now, people who cannot pay their mortgage, people who have been separated from their families, people who are sitting in deportation camps, concentration camps, foreign and domestic. Those people do not want to see people. It is.
I'm Jewish, and it is not offensive. It's not. It's not a death
get 1,000 texts. People do not compare that to the
I
Holocaust.
imagine 1,000. I honestly wish they were.
First of all, that woman, I don't know who she is, but she's saying, I'm Jewish and not offended. Listen, lady, you don't speak for all Jewish people. Scott Jennings says he's getting texts from Jewish people saying that they're offended by that comparison. But some Jewish people are offended by that comparison. And even if you're not offended, is it not a bit hyperbolic to say, hey, these people who are coming here into this country from other countries that we're putting in detention centers, it's a little different than putting people in gas chambers and killing them with poison and toxic chemicals. How you can make that argument that that's not offensive, I think it's interesting, but let's keep going.
More offended by the action of this administration. I wish they were more offended by the action of this administration instead of my language. They should focus on something more important than what I call it, and focus more on what's actually happening to people who are getting disappeared by a government agency. And none of us should ever normalize that like it's something rational to do. My point is this entire asinine scene of people playing cartoons. No, I won't get the logic of disappearing people, Scott. And I hope that you don't
you're minimizing that.
Your point.
I can't believe you're minimizing people being disappeared by the government.
Go ahead, Michael.
I don't think he was minimizing it. I think he was just saying, hey, maybe don't compare it to Jews getting murdered in the Holocaust. I don't think that's a wild argument.
Can I jump in, Tiffany?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry. I don't mind.
No, it's okay. I don't think that. I think you're hitting on an interesting point. I don't think Democrats have a marketing or an image problem. I think they really have a policy problem. Now, I may not agree with some of Tiffany's prescriptions to some of the problems, and I think that's okay. But there are Democrats who really do want legitimate solutions to the problems and the critiques that they have about government. And I think a lot of people who are Democrats, I'm not one, but I would imagine if I were to do a focus group, many of them would say that the responses that they're getting from their party aren't real in terms of trying to move the needle forward for them. And so I think you're right in pointing out that this is not going to be it for Democrats.
I think that's a little utopian.
Before we move on to the next segment here, I think Michael Singleton just hit the nail on the head. There are Democrats who want legitimate policy solutions. Nobody in their party, none of their leaders, their elected officials are offering real policy. They're offering guitar playing in their offices, and Gavin Newsom is cursing on podcasts, and Andrew Cuomo is, I don't know what he's doing, getting nipple rings. I don't pay attention to Andrew Cuomo, but that is what the intelligentsia of the Democratic Party is doing. And you see, even though people who, this woman, Tiffany Cross, I guess doesn't identify as a Democrat, she's certainly left-leaning, left of center, left-wing even. And you see, even though she's critical of the Democrats, saying, well, I don't want them to be doing this, she's still engaging in the hyperbolic, the hyper-inflammatory rhetoric of, oh, they're putting people in concentration camps. I mean, who is that helping? Who is that helping, Tiffany? How are you helping anyone by making a stink about saying, oh, I need to use this language, concentration camps, they're disappearing people? Whether or not that's true, and I think Abby Phillips should do a segment on, is ICE actually disappearing people? Is there due process? Are people being whisked away into the night? Or are, Mahmoud Khalil, whether or not you agree that he should have been arrested for what he was saying, for what he was doing, for his actions, for his alleged ties to the Palestinian government actors within Palestine, within Gaza, and Syria. I think it's worth asking the question, was he disappeared? No, he wasn't. He was taken to Louisiana. We always knew where he was. I don't know if people are being disappeared. I don't think there's any concrete proof to anybody being disappeared or to people being put in concentration camps, a very specific term about obviously linked to the Holocaust and World War II and Nazi Germany. Also, internment camps, which America did have Japanese political prisoners in during World War II. That's a thing, too, that you could put akin to concentration camps. Migrant detention centers, whole other thing. And it is, at best, it's hyperbolic, and at worst, it is offensive to some Jewish people. I'm sure. I know Jewish people who are offended by that. I know Jewish people who aren't offended by that. This woman is clearly one of them. She also obviously has a political agenda, so that's why she's not offended by that. But that is what the modern Democratic Party is offering. Hyperbole. Inflammatory rhetoric. Hey, no, Scott, I can't believe that you're not on the same page as me as people disappearing. Well, Tiffany Cross, what is your policy solution? What would you like to do about immigration? How would you get the majority of American-born citizens on benefits? How would you get people health care? How would you fix our living crisis, our economy crisis, our cost of living crisis? We just stop putting immigrants in detention centers and everything's okay? There are no solutions for these people, just accusations. Anyway, let's finish this clip up.
Believe that it's all based on policy, right? Donald Trump won in part because of his personality.
You don't think people cared? You don't think Republicans care about policy?
I think they cared more. I think they cared more about the fact that they liked Donald Trump better than any other Republican.
Or did they like Donald Trump's prescriptions to their problem?
They like that Donald Trump was sticking
I think when it came to the Republican primary,
we're not dealing with a very intellectual voting base, I assure you.
I think they preferred Donald Trump's attitude.
I disagree
They preferred his general demeanor over other Republicans. I'm not talking about versus Democrats. I'm talking about other Republicans. You disagree with that?
I think it could actually be both. I agree with you. He brought an attitude,
that Republicans liked
that no one else really
random Republican to tell name three policies they like. When you see, respectfully, when you see lazy reporters out here asking people, well, why did you vote for Donald Trump? And they say, I like his policies. You rarely see a follow-up. You rarely see them say, well, name a policy that you like. Tell me what it is you liked about him. Because they know, I know, they are incapable of answering it. Every single time
I think that what's missing.
That's the end of this segment. They're about to move on. I mean, the irony of this woman criticizing, one, lazy reporters, who I completely agree a lot of reporters are lazy. Two, Trump supporters for not having policies for the reasons they vote for him. This is, we're now 4 minutes into this segment. I watched another 10 minutes before it. Not once does Tiffany Cross offer her own policy prescriptions. Little hypocritical there. I would love to hear from you folks. What do you think does the left even have policies? Does Tiffany Cross have policies? What do you think of her criticisms of Donald Trump's base, not liking him because of policies? Do you like Donald Trump because of policy? Do you not like him because of policy? Do you like him because of personality? Is it a combination of both? Let us know in the comments below. Please like the video, share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.